We're here in Specialized Design Room, and as you can see around, there are all kinds of colorful one-off bikes, mainly done for the artistic fun of it. But when the money is really on the line, Mike, and the professional teams come to you asking for the best possible bikes to win the great European road races, these are the kinds of bikes that you produce.
That's right, Rich. And one of the things, the founding principle of Specialized is focusing on the rider's needs. So the way we develop product is by working with the top athletes, and we're fortunate to have the best teams, and it's been a long time coming, 40 years to get where we are today.
Well, an example in this bike, the Venge, the best known sprinter in the world, Mark Cavendish, will be riding on a bike like this in the Tour de France and other races. What are the subtle differences between what Cavendish might have been riding last year?
Sure. Well, I mean, there's some quite big differences when you look at the engineering, technology aspects of it. The main thing is it balances the three important elements of going fast on a bike: aerodynamics, stiffness, and weight. Typically, older designs of bikes, the more traditional way to do it was to make it either stiff or light, or make it just aerodynamic. And to do either of those two things are relatively easy, but to marry them into one platform, that's where the engineering challenge comes in.
You guys really opened eyes in the cycling world when you teamed with Formula One race car team McLaren to do joint design of the Venge. Why go so high up the chain to partner with an F1 team?
Well, as an engineer, I mean, we want to learn as much as we can, of course. So we go to the experts, right? They are the experts in some very specific things, including composite layup and analysis. So we took this Venge. We had the Venge already essentially designed. It was being tested at that point with the S-Works layup. And they saw this platform and said, wow, this is a perfect launching pad for what we can help you with. So really what ended up happening is they designed a totally bespoke layup. Layup being the orientation of the carbon fiber layers, right? About 100 grams lighter, quite a bit stiffer, and really retains all the same aerodynamic attributes that this bike does.
Well, the stiffness really counts. If you were to watch a slow motion video of a very powerful sprinter getting the bike up to 45 miles an hour, you would see this part of the bike is actually flexing quite a bit.
That's right.
You want some flex, but that drains energy too.
Well, you always want some flex where you need it. You don't want all that stiffness going into the rider, because that's not a very pleasant experience. So generally, we want stiffness where we need it. In the example of a rider pedaling really hard or sprinting, of course, we want to have a very stiff chassis. Having the width here in the head tube really matters. And carrying that width down into the down tube really allows this area to flex less under load. Another area, Rich, is essentially the drivetrain stiffness. So if we have a drivetrain, chainstays that are very narrow and very flexible, when you pedal that hard, the bike's going to be going side to side, right? So we manufacture it in such a way that the bottom bracket area and chainstays are all molded in one piece, and the cross section is significantly beefed up for stiffness.
Anybody who's watched Olympic cycling or great races like the Tour de France, there's usually a part of the race called the individual time trial, and that's where you make bikes like this. This is the Specialized Shiv. Mike, talk about all the technology that goes into a great time trial bike.
Well, the Shiv, the time trial, is one of the most critical parts of the race of the Tour de France, and designing that bike to be the most aerodynamic is really a big feat. In fact, when we designed this, we had to redesign it 2 different times because it was too fast. It was too aerodynamic, so the UCI made us change it. But really having this very sleek bike like this, it makes a big difference. The aerodynamic profile, just like a wing of an airplane.
I know you've been asked this question throughout your 40 years, but you look at a bike like this with all the computer-aided design and the wind tunnel testing and the exotic materials, and you say, how can they possibly get any better? Can they get any better?
They can. And every year, we always say innovate or die, and every year the bikes do get better. And 7 to 10 years from now, you'll be looking at a bike like this, and you'll think, this looks really old, and this weighs, gee, 16 pounds. That's heavy. The new bikes weigh 12 pounds. and they're more aerodynamic and stiffer.